Imagine that your business is growing fast, like 200 or 300%, and you're really excited because you've worked hard to get your business to do this. And you start to think about all the things that you're going to be able to take care of once the cash starts coming in. And maybe it's you need to hire some support, or perhaps there's a piece of technology that would just make life so much easier in the business. Or maybe you're finally feeling secure enough to pay yourself in the business. Except one thing isn't happening. And it's a critical thing to making all of those dreams possible. Your business is running out of cash as fast as it's growing, and you're stumped. While you're busy trying to make ends meet, trying to keep the business afloat, you're also wondering, what did you do wrong? What did you miss? What could you have done better? Well, howdy everyone. My name is Leslie Hassler with Your Biz Rules, and we help service businesses create predictable profits in their business so that they can scale without the burnout and be confident as they pay themselves more and enjoy more of the freedoms of being a business owner. And this scenario is more common than you think. In fact, Jim Collins, the author of such books as Just Good and Great, Good to Great, and B 2.0, talks about the fact that it's not uncommon for a business to have its best year ever and then file for bankruptcy 18 months later. So, what's happening in the business? What is it that they could have done to avoid that dramatic, stressful fate? Well, I'm here to tell you it's as simple as putting together a business growth plan. Now, a business growth plan is a little bit different than the traditional plan. Now, traditional business plan focuses a lot on research and on market analysis and audience analysis and problem analysis, and gets into some of the financials. But I've come behind in a lot of business plans, and they can be a really good exercise. They can focus a business for sure, but I find that they're not always grounded in reality, and they're not always practical to use as a guide in managing the business. And so often a traditional business plan just gets filed on the shelf and allowed to collect dust. Well, I'm not wanting that for you. In fact, what I want to do is save you a whole lot of heartache, a whole lot of stress, to actually change how you think and plan about growth so that you can be able to have that exponential growth, be able to see the money, the cash flowing into the business, and to be able to recognize it. So, we're going to talk about a business growth plan. So, what is a business growth plan? It is a simple, implementable, doable system that is agile enough or flexible enough to allow you to change as you learn. So, a lot of times people abandon plans because they feel too rigid, they feel too hard. They're really not confident about what it is that needs to go into plan. So, I'm going to give you our 5 elements of a business growth plan. So when we get our hands on your business and we have clients that come and join us in things like our profitable growth incubator, we put them in this little bubble. We call it the Kickstart program, but it's really a bubble that we can help them work on these 5 elements, because these 5 elements are the driving force of growth. They are your safety net. They are your Waze system, that the indicators and the indicators that help you know whether or not you're on the right track. So imagine that gift to know why you're doing something, what you should be doing, how you're going to do it, what a good job looks like, and what to do next. That's what I'm talking about with the business growth plan. So let me give you a highlight of the 5 elements, and then I'll go a little bit deeper into the growth plan elements and what they do for you. So the first element is a compelling vision. Our second element is a simple dashboard. The third is a growth forecast. Fourth is a profit plan. And the fifth is a 90-day implementation plan. So before that sounds really uber complicated, it's not. That's one of our gifts is we help take things that are maybe a little overly complicated and make them simple. So you can pull these documents together in a month. Quite honestly, if you have the time to kind of dive deep into it, you can get it done faster. And once you do it 1 or 2 times, you're going to be able to do this in an afternoon. It's just that simple. So the first part, let's talk about this compelling vision. Now, this compelling vision gives purpose to profits and to the growth that you're going through. And so it's a bit of a dreaming exercise, if you will, of what the business and your life will look like in 3 years. Now, I strongly believe that there's an element of this as a business owner, as a small business owner. I'll say up until the time that you maybe have 25, 30, 50 employees, where you are the driving force. You have to do this work yourself. This is where you really start to define your why, what your purpose is with this business, what the impact that you're going to have in your community, for your family, your friends, your clients, your team, and yourself. You've got to be part of this equation because this is your source of motivation. It's also a source of inspiration. It is the way that you know what the success is going to do. If you're purely chasing dollars to chase dollars, to be in it for the money, you will burn out. You will always have a plan B to go drop this and do something else. But when the vision has purpose and has impact and is something that excites you, you make it happen. So that's why the first step is always about that vision. Excuse me. Okay, so the second part, it's a simple dashboard of key performance indicators. So KPIs, if you've ever heard of that. All these are is a few metrics of your business and the things that matter to you. So when we help people figure out what their key performance indicators are, there's a first 7 that I like to start people out with because these are the pieces and parts of growth, if you will. They're the ingredients of growth. And while there are other metrics that help create those final metrics, if these work, you really don't need too many more. So if you're have too heavily in your metrics, they're cumbersome. Nobody wants to do them. If it's challenging to track, it will never get tracked because it'll always fall to the lowest part of your list. We want to keep these things simple. We want to keep them meaningful, and we want to show context with them. And when you're able to show context with your KPIs, your employees know how they impact that KPI. And if your dream team in the future, if you don't have team, or if you do have team now, if your dream is to have your team be as engaged in the growth of the business as you are, this is the common language to making it happen. So it is where I say we always start at a baseline. We need to know where you are in order to know what needs to be done to get you where you want to go. But these metrics also are your early warning system. They are the things that tell you if you're succeeding or if you're falling short. So if you think about it, you wouldn't drive a car, or we wouldn't really know how to drive a car without the dashboard, without you knowing how much gas is in the car, what's the temperature, where's the heat, are there any codes coming up that say danger, Will Robinson, pull over, right? You need the same thing for your business, and that is what this does for you. All right, our third is a growth forecast for the next 12 months. This is where we take the KPIs and we look at what growth would look like. If you take the main four, of the seven, I said there's seven, there's four that we really can concentrate on. If you just had 1% growth in each of those top four numbers, you actually would generate 14% growth. How so? Because those four KPIs compound on each other. That's how you get really exponential growth and make it easy, is you break it down. And here's the thing that I want you to know about growth, because sometimes people get afraid of growth because they feel like it's going to be more clients, more work. I'm going to have to work longer. I'm going to have to work harder. And I don't have that within me to do anymore because I've been playing this game for so long. While more clients can be a part of your growth forecast, oftentimes you need fewer new clients than you think you do if you pay attention to the other numbers. So when we look at this is our area to troubleshoot. We can find the pitfalls. We can know what it is that we need to be prepared for. If we need additional resources, if we need new training, maybe we need to hire a team or reorganize the team to be able to handle the growth that's coming in the door. This is how you cut off 80% of the problems, is by taking this step. But this is a step nobody takes. They don't think about their growth in components and they don't plan for it. Our next element is the profit plan. So I know if you've been watching my videos, you've heard me say this before, but revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, and cash, she be queen. And the thing that it comes to growth, and we heard it in our story, I've seen it, Jim Collins is showing us as well. When our growth is so focused on revenue, but there's not enough coming through to cash, that's when we get in trouble. So a profit plan puts a more intention on this set. So we need the revenue, obviously, that's a component of it, but we need enough revenue to produce enough profit to produce enough cash. A profit plan gives intention to that cash. The minute it comes in the door, if you think about it, it tells the money what to do. So this helps a lot if a lot of times business owners, they just haven't been told how to manage the money in the business productively, and they bring over personal money management strategies into a business, and that can be helpful, but it can also set you up to be more vulnerable to outside forces. And that's not the game I like to play. I can't imagine that you would want to be stressed about paying your bills or paying your payroll or paying your rent or wishing you could invest in something but having no idea how to make that happen. This is the tool that takes it all away. So this is actually one of two tools that we help our clients put together in their businesses. And it is the tool that changes the nature of money in your business. When I first implemented this in my own business, within a year, I was able to pay for my entirety of business expenses for the next year. Now that just so happened to be 2019. So that meant during the year of shutdown, I didn't have to worry about income. I could focus in on my clients. I could focus in on my family. I could do what I needed to do during the time because I wasn't worried about paying my bills. And there was enough to worry about at that period of time. So that was a gift to me. I want that gift to happen to you. Like I said, this is a game changer. Hands down will change your business and your personal financial situation and give you that security and stability that you're so looking for. So we want to be able to do that. Our last one is, I call it a nimble 90-day implementation plan. This is a strategic action plan. Look, you can't do all of it all at once. We would love to, right? Even if you have team, You still can't do all of it all at once. It's just not possible. So we have to choose. We have to know where the priorities are. We have to know and measure what we do on a daily basis to work on our business so that we get the growth and the profits that we desire in order to make the vision possible. And so a 90-day action plan is super simple. In fact, it doesn't really have to be more than 30 things. I'm going to let you in on that little secret. It is totally scalable, meaning if it's just you as a solopreneur, it works. If you've got a team of 5, 6, 7, 10, 20, it works. It is a scalable way to make a strategic plan for the next 90 days. And here's why I love 90 days, guys, is that it is long enough for you to see a result. It is short enough to hold your attention so you stay focused. And it gives you the ability to shift and pivot, to take your learnings and incorporate them to either maximize the results that you're getting, and minimize maybe some of the downside that you didn't know you were going to encounter, change for a new opportunity, right? Or stay the course. But it also has a beautiful way of balancing risks and balancing returns so that you are building in a greater stability. You're not waiting 18 or 24 months to see a return or some results. You're actually starting to see things sooner, which means you move faster, which means that exponential growth is more possible and that you will have it done in the easiest way possible. Now, that's why, like I mentioned, when we have businesses like yours that come into our profitable growth incubator, we start them here because it changes the whole relationship in the business. And a year after practicing, and using these tools, people will say, I never thought it was possible. It was easier than I ever could have imagined. My business has become fun again. And it's not just fun, but it's profitable. It's sustainable. It's a joy for you to do. And you will find that you will be able to get that ambitious growth that you're after, but also be able to reinvest the profits into future growth, into yourself, into your team, and enjoy so many more of the freedoms that come with being able to be a business owner. So that's it for today, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What are you thinking? Do you have a business growth plan? Do you have someone who's actually reviewing it with you, who's helping you finalize and fine tune the plan so that you're avoiding pitfalls, but you're also maximizing your result? Well, I hope so. If we can be that for you, we would love to do that. It is one of the things that we are ever so good at. But until next time, my name is Leslie Hassler with Your Biz Rules, and I'll be talking with you soon.